Every electric vehicle runs on it. Every smartphone, every laptop, and every AI data center battery backup system requires it. If a technology is getting electrified, it needs lithium. This demand is projected to explode in the coming years. By 2029, global production capacity will have to double just to keep pace with the world's technological needs. But right now, one country controls that entire supply chain from end to end: China. Raw spodumene ore is pulled from the Australian outback and shipped directly to China for chemical conversion into lithium carbonate or hydroxide. Only after that processing is complete are the batteries exported to manufacturers across the rest of the world. China has previously restricted exports of rare earth elements and silver to exert geopolitical pressure. If they do the same with lithium, the American electric vehicle and AI sectors face an immediate supply crisis. Going into this decade, the United States was completely exposed to a total battery supply freeze. Last week, the U.S. Geological Survey published a paper that changed that dynamic overnight. Researchers identified an estimated 2.3 million metric tons of undiscovered, economically recoverable lithium buried right here in the eastern United States. Roughly 1.43 million metric tons of that reserve are concentrated in the southern Appalachians, specifically across the Carolinas. The northern Appalachians hold another 900,000 metric tons, located beneath the forests of Maine and New Hampshire. This is enough raw material to power 130 million electric vehicles. At last year's levels, it could replace 328 years of U.S. lithium imports. On paper, the Appalachian discovery provides the volume of material necessary for total American mineral independence. However, there is a strict economic difference between a resource and an asset, a distinction emphasized in the financial philosophy of Robert Kiyosaki. A resource is simply raw material that exists in the ground. In its current state, this unrefined spodumene ore does nothing. An asset is something that has been extracted, refined, and converted into a product that generates actual cash flow. This makes the 328-year safety net a mathematical illusion. That figure assumes lithium demand stays flat, ignoring the massive growth of the EV and AI sectors. Under realistic adoption scenarios, that supply buffer compresses substantially. Geological wealth is meaningless without the industrial capacity to pull it out of the ground before the demand curve peaks. Converting these deposits into a supply chain requires a massive logistical effort, beginning with years of geological exploration to prove the economic viability of each site. Then comes the regulatory hurdle, navigating layers of state and federal environmental reviews to secure necessary permits. Only then can the physical work begin. Extracting this ore requires high-intensity industrial operations on a massive scale. The United States would also need to build its own advanced chemical refineries. Without them, America will still be forced to ship its raw dirt back to China for processing. This creates intense political friction. Proposing massive open-pit mines and industrial zones in the pristine forests of the Carolinas and New England will face years of local opposition. Between environmental red tape and political pushback, actually extracting this lithium could be delayed by decades. This puts America's localized, democratic permitting process in direct competition with China's heavily subsidized, state-controlled industrial complex. Global lithium demand will double in just 3 years, setting a 2029 deadline for domestic production to reach the market. If American production cannot meet that demand curve, the infrastructure for the new economy, including the data centers driving the AI boom, could see its growth stall. The USGS discovery did not solve the crisis. It only proved that a domestic solution is physically possible. Reclaiming American mineral independence now depends on navigating domestic bureaucracy rather than finding new deposits. The real test is whether the U.S. can summon the industrial willpower to mine these mountains before China consolidates its grip on the future.